And Q and Amberlosa have gone off to see Reuven, while Teo has decided to continue on his hiring spree. Who did Carrion go with?
Oh shit, sorry, I got distracted because there's a hole in my bed sheets. She'll go with Teo.
Alright.
I'll ask if Carrion's cool with going to the Craftsman Hall.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Carrion's just having fun intimidating people right now.
That's fair.
Alright, Q and
That sounds like Carrion.
Amberlosa. You're headed out of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I don't know
and
how Teo talked me into this, but here I am.
I believe Amberlosa has the crystal heart, right?
Yes. For reasons I think should be obvious.
You reach the clearing with Rufus' cottage in it. And the doors are open, honestly, to let in fresh air.
I will announce our presence in the customary fashion.
Okay. A Yoo-hoo later, Rufus sticks her head out the door and motions for you to join her inside.
By the way, I don't look happy to be here. I was forced into this.
As you enter the cottage, you can tell that you can immediately tell that something has this woman agitated. But she welcomes you inside with a, "How can I help you? Did you get the ingredients for the ritual, or?"
Remember, Q, I did give those to you. What those stuff we had, we didn't get
Yeah,
everything.
I remember. Oh, yeah, but that's not why we're here.
Well, then why are you here?
Well, we brought the crystal heart back, and I will gesture at Amberlosa.
I'll present it, neutral faced, still not really sure how I got goaded by Teo into being here.
You're shell-shocked by nature.
And
Yeah, no, that's not it.
we were wondering if, because you didn't stay here very long last time. We were wondering if, well, we've learned some things about it in the meantime. We were wondering if you might know anything more about that now. And I'm going to tell her about basically everything Q remembers from that point in the dream, which is really up and like finding it in the cave. Right? Because after that point, I don't remember anything.
As far as I know about the heart, and keep in mind, I admittedly only mostly held it in ritual capacity. It was gathered from, like you said, a cave deep in what once was the forest in the center of Glycellin. Around the start of or shortly after the start of the plague.
You said around or shortly after the start of the plague was when we would have gone down to get it?
Yes. As far as I'm aware, some point after the start of the plague, the heart was retrieved from a cave under the forest. It had previously displayed signs of reacting with nature around it. We were hoping that it could tell us something about the problems that this country was having, and there would be an easy fix because of it. But every attempt we've made at discerning its truer purpose has failed us. I am personally of the opinion that it should probably be returned to its rightful place, but on the other hand, it doesn't seem to be. It didn't seem to be making anything better, and it doesn't seem to be making anything significantly worse, having it traveling freely instead of wherever it was found. In a statue's arms, you said?
Mm-hmm. What did you do to try and talk to it again? Because you said nobody had ever attuned to it before, right?
Yes, we didn't feel that would be wise, but we. Do you know the spell Legend Lore?
I've heard of it actually, because of what's his face. So yes.
We've tried various forms of divination magic, that spell included. I tried more ritual magic, seeing if I could make any sort of connection with any sort of sentience inside the crystal or any sort of magical energy, really. It's something. It's magical something. But what is up for speculation? Is it really the heart of the forest? Is it really something that was placed down there by the Sleeping Emperor or a previous group of adventurers?
Well, why don't you help me try to talk to it? Because I am attuned to it right now.
You know, I actually have an idea.
Okay.
There's a cave, and do either of you have a map?
We don't have it, but I would know exactly what it looks like because I've seen the map and I can remember it perfectly.
If you don't have a map, she'll pull out a regional one of her own to show you where the spot is. And she is going to, as I move all of you to the map, she is going to point out a spot right about here. It's not that far a walk, but you know, it's a 9-mile walk. This is a cave that I up until recently used. It has scrying possibilities, but the area itself isn't that safe.
Why not?
I can think of a few reasons why not.
Well, specifically, there is something that has taken up residence in the cave. I'm trying to figure out a non-ridiculous way to phrase this, but I'm drawing a blank, so it is a sentient mushroom.
Oh, we've met those.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, that dude in the giant glowy mushroom cave who talked to me was basically all mushrooms, and he was, like us, sort of.
Are you talking more humanoid or just more mycelial?
It genuinely looks like a giant mushroom. I realized that it was more than something semi-autonomous until it started to cast magic.
Oh, it casts magic too. How delightful.
I decided to leave well enough alone. It hasn't exactly been hurting anybody, other than people who try to wander into the cave itself, but, well, I'll need to change, get some armor, get some potions. She kind of retreats into herself as she starts poking around the cottage, grabbing her leather and a quarterstaff. After she finishes, well, I guess I can lead you, unless you'd like to go tomorrow.
No, we can go right now.
When I meet up with you again, I swear to the gods.
You don't have to come, Amberlosa. You can wait here.
No, I feel like children need supervision.
I think Rufus older than you are.
I am definitely older than she is. Three of you are going to meet up after Teo's shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teo, there is a conspicuous lack of a fourth individual.
Right. Okay. Where did you two leave Q?
Oh, I could have swore that was your responsibility. I thought for sure she was with you.
Funny.
No, I
Truly.
think she's probably still with Ruvith, would be my guess.
Oh, that's fine then, as long as we didn't leave her alone.
I mean, I don't know what happens there, but after
Right.
getting attacked by a whatever the hell that was, I decided I was done doing that.
You were attacked going to see the druid.
No, we, it, there was, how do I explain? A mushroom creature that apparently we investigated and got attacked by.
I leave you two alone for a day. A singular day.
I do believe that was your choice. But I'd say afternoon was much more fruitful.
Right. How so?
They
Well, it
do look
certainly
pretty
wasn't
battered and
boring.
bruised.
What did you two trip into a trench or something?
Or something.
I just point at Killian for that answer.
Am I going to have to figure out a way to get guards off our tail or bail you out of prison?
Oh, we'll find out in a little bit, but I don't think anyone died, so.
Are we at the hospital right now?
I don't know, are they?
I mean, you guys met up outside of the hospital. So, did you guys start walking while you were talking?
I doubt it.
I might
Like-
poke my
Yes.
head in and see if there's any familiar face.
Okay.
No, there are no individuals you know.
That's not very promising, is it?
Not really.
I mean, he was drunk, though, and a little rude.
Were there witnesses, you two idiots?
Pardon me, I am quite intelligent, thank you very much.
Oh no, I'm aware, but intelligence means nothing compared to what common sense decisions you make.
Well, if it would make you so comfortable, then no, I don't believe there were any witnesses. Or if there were, I'm pretty sure they're done being witnesses.
I'm going to take that at face value and not explore it.
It's probably for the best.
Anyways, is that a problem outside of Haven that we're going to have to deal with or taken care of?
I think it's alright. It's not really a problem to begin with, so.
How far from here was it? Just so we know it's not going to be our problem.
To be honest, it was at Riveth's place and a little further beyond that.
You two are going to give me heart problems.
Well, I guess if the stone bleeds.
Anyways, are we fine to leave tomorrow morning?
Well,
Yeah.
provided Q doesn't get themselves in more trouble, then yeah.
Good, because we're getting our new employees and supplies back up to Dragonspire, and then leaving this valley for a few minutes, for a few days. God. I guess
So are you
goddess
going
is the
to
technical term there.
so are you going to collect Q?
I don't know, where is Q?
I literally just told you.
How long of a walk is that?
It's about an hour outside the gates, just to get to Rufus' house.
It's not that far.
I would like to just make sure everybody knows sunset was at exactly 4.
Right.
It is the winter solstice, after all.
Right, okay. Well, we need her back in order to leave tomorrow morning. So, shall we go pick her up?
I suppose. I mean, like I said, it's only about an hour away. There's a fair number of us. Not too much can go wrong, and if anything does, we'll all die gruesome, horrible ends.
You are so cheerful.
Yeah.
Only that.
Yeah, I guess we're going to pick up Q.
Alright.
Pick her up from her
Which
sleepover.
Tarkarian who speaks Imperial? Only that is just, we go there. One goes there. We're on our way, basically.
Yeah.
Whenever they show up, I'm with Ruvith and I'm trying to convince her to go back to that cave. I don't think I'm succeeding.
She's not willing to go with just you. She'd be willing to go, if, say, all of your allies were conveniently here.
I mean, yeah, but it's so inconvenient that Amberlosa left earlier.
I think she's just not. I think she's more of a city kind of woman.
What makes you say that?
The general air of disdain, mostly.
I mean, she said one of the cities we went to, she said was a shithole. Another one she got arrested in. I didn't really get her opinion on the setting.
God damn it.
I think she just might be a terminally unhappy person then.
Oh.
God damn, that's fucking rude.
Maybe that's why she gets along so well with Teo.
Probably.
All right.
Can you show
Who's
me that
laughing
trick
now,
with the sticks
bitch?
again?
What'd she say?
I was thinking, I was just asking if she could show me some type of magic again.
Yeah, she will. Yeah, she'll show you a couple cantrips, and she'll even turn into a cat for you.
Oh, sweet!
It is during the inevitable deluge of questions that starts up after that mistake that the rest of you arrive to.
Okay, what is this? What is happening?
Well, okay, so did you ever see those things that Baron had? And I've seen them sometimes walking around the city. They're usually going after rats. They're big, they're furry, got big eyes. They're called cats. Really cute, make noises. Really don't like it when you try to pick them up.
Hey.
I haven't seen any tabaxi, have I?
No, you have not.
Okay,
You have
then I
not
have no
seen.
idea they exist.
I was showing Q a druid's wild shapes.
Okay. Okay.
I've seen bird people before, but this is the first time I've ever met a cat person.
I can turn into a variety of animals, actually.
I think that would be a terrible idea for your own sanity.
I'm just wondering, like, you're so big, but a cat's so small. Where does all the extra stuff go?
Oh boy, that is a question that wizards have been trying to answer for a really long time now.
Right. Anyway, Q, are you ready to go back to French noises hurt my throat. This
I
is
didn't know
fine.
that was the name of that cave, but it's real convenient that you showed up.
Are you ready to go back to
There's this cave that we think can help tell us more about the Crystal Heart and where it came from. But there's a
How
mushroom man
far?
living in it who doesn't like people being there.
How
But
far
he
away
said
is
fine if
this?
you. It wasn't too far.
It
I
was
don't
like
actually.
another. It was like another 2 hours worth of walk.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Let me do some mental math in my head. Right. If we go there now, don't spend longer than an hour or two, we can still get back to Haven by 10 p.m. Hate ourselves quite a lot, but we can still do it.
Hate myself.
Oh, Amberlosa, I'm aware you won't ever hate yourself, you'll just hate us, and that's quite the same to me already.
Well, I guess compromise.
Well, Lilith, lead the way.
Before we go, I'm just gonna turn. I'm gonna lean into Rufus and whisper, "I think you were right."
The laugh is very much in character.
I
As Rufus.
don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Somehow I feel like it was directed at either myself or Teo. I'm not really sure which.
Could be both. Either way, I don't care anymore.
So Ruvith is going to lead you to her. Well, not her anymore. Not hers anymore. To the cave.
Along the way,
She.
I will tell Teo and Carrion about our first fight with the Mushroom Man, which is it's definitely hostile. It will try to put you to sleep. It has some type of stinking cloud that makes it hard for you to do things because you can't breathe as well. And it can reach out and thorn whip you, and it will tie you up in like mycelia and whatnot.
Have you considered just throwing fire at it?
Yes, I did. And I exercised some advice that you so graciously and rudely declared not so long ago, was to hold a bit of, how did you put it, restraint.
It's also really wet in there, so it's hard to catch it on fire.
Somehow I feel like you're blaming me for the fact that you don't usually follow my advice and then follow the least opportune time.
You're welcome, I followed it to some degree.
And I do appreciate it, truly.
I'll be sure to take that as a hint once we're in a cramped cave to work at my own devices.
Well, by all means, let's see if we're all fireproof.
I know at least one of us is.
It is actually worth noting that it is negative 12 degrees. It was very cold yesterday as well.
It's fine.
That pond was not frozen.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Well,
And as you poke your head in with your shield lit, setting the entire underground cave into a dizzying fractals of light.
Did Ruth come with us?
Yeah,
she let us here.
she's in the back still though.
Just making sure.
Oh, definitely. The pool isn't frozen today either. And it's only a few moments of you shining this flashlight into the cave before you get some angry water stirring. Do you make any movements at this point, or are you going to stay at the top of the drop-off?
I'm gonna drop down into where the area of the pool is, and get ready.
Woo!
Hey Teo,
Yeah.
any particular way you want to do this?
God damn it. Are you kidding me?
It didn't have high hit points. It was mostly a danger because there was only two first time.
I'm so sorry to the poor two suckers who went into the water then.
Oh.
Just pop its head, man.
Alright. The water is suddenly significantly gross.
if we're out of combat, she's swimming out of that.
Yeah.
And by the time I surface, I will be spitting whatever shit you put in my mouth.
Mushroom goop.
I'm picturing that Amberlosa emerges looking like the Swamp Thing, and I just kill her anyway.
Are you going to? Riveth is going to head back to her cottage with the promise to help Q with the vision when you're all, fucking freezing and
Mhm.
half dead. So if you want to stop by in the morning before, leaving.
As long as I can meet my employees at the Young Harrow Inn, I don't care.
And she'll
I gotta-
offer. And she'll also offer to let you spend the night in her cottage, but again, there is one bed.
I gotta meet my employees and I gotta pick up my animals. I can't. I gotta go to Haven. Mm-hmm.
So you're all going back to Haven?
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
having a sleepover with Rufus.
You're
Oh
having
my
a sleepover with Rufus? Alright.
And then
I will. I will be very insistent that you come back in the. Please do not be late.
I want to see what happens in the vision. And then, did the mushrooms growing in the cave react when that thing fell apart?
They
at all?
didn't visibly react when it died. But you
Okay.
also didn't make any efforts to retrieve the corpse and just let it sink to the bottom of the pool, so you're not entirely certain what will happen as time progresses.
Okay.
So Q is going to have a sleepover with Ruvith, and the rest are going back to Haven.
Mm-hmm.
That just means Q. In the morning, before, well, I mean, Teo might be awake somewhere in the city doing morning rituals. I'm not entirely certain how much of that he picked up from.
It's fine.
I don't know, is Teo a morning person?
I would assume so.
Okay.
His deity's a sun deity.
Disgusting.
Hey, it's better than Yuffie, who wakes up at the crack of dawn no matter what. He can't even see that it's dawn.
He just
He just does.
that circadian rhythm.
Q, you're woken up shortly pre-dawn, which, given how lately you got in, you're not as well rested as you would like to be, but Ruvith is of the opinion that you probably shouldn't keep your ace buddy waiting. And she leads you back to the cavern, well rested and magic replenished. Alright. So she's going to lead you to the cave, and she's going to pull out some herbs from her bag and pull out some of the water from the cave pool. She's going to purify the water using magic before making a tea with it and asking you to drink it. She
Oh, I
will
drink this?
warn. Yep. She will warn you that it will make you feel strange.
Oh boy. Well, did purify this, so
She purified it and then she made a tea.
bottoms up.
All right. And after you drink the tea, she is going to hand you the crystal and ask you to basically meditate with it.
All right, I will do so.
Moments pass, and you don't feel particularly different. You open your eyes to ask why it's not working. Find yourself in the cave from that extended dream again. The statue of the carved woman looking serenely down at the heart, but it's unadorned, not covered in the thin wire wrappings, different gems that make it look so fancy. The cave itself is lush, full of plants that shouldn't be growing underground, and as you're standing there in the same place that you were last time, same three figures creep in through the exit that you escaped from the first time. They're not human. Two of them aren't even bipedal, but they all carry with them an almost terrifying aura to one of them is a wolf that looks to be made from tree and vines. There's an insectoid thing, probably 10, 12 feet tall, longer than, well, longer than about two of the horses stuck together. I was trying to think of an animal that Q would actually recognize, but I was drawing a blank, I'm sorry. And the only kind of vaguely humanoid-shaped thing is a slick-skinned, amorphous figure with limbs growing from places where it shouldn't and no real distinct facial features to speak of. As they walk into the cave, the air begins to sour, and they don't seem to care much for the green things growing as step step to the statue, passing straight through you. They grab the gemstone, the woman, and leave the way that fuck, I can't talk right now. And leave the way they came. I'm
They
sorry,
grabbed
I've
the
been stuttering all
stone
day.
and the statue?
They just grabbed the stone,
Okay.
leaving the statue the way that it was the first time you saw it in the dream, actually hands empty.
This statue of the lady turning back to that,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything abnormal or distinctive about that statue? Like it's not a weird bug person or a tree wolf or whatever the hell this thing is.
Presumably female, at least by the way they're shaped. Presumably either human or humanoid. The ears covering the ears are covered, so you can't tell if it's human or elf. But presumably female and either human to human, but also rough hewn. So they could have been going for an ASMR for all it matters, you know, like just vaguely humanoid.
When they took it to the cave, did anything happen or react in the cave immediately or no?
Not immediately. And as you stand there in the silence, thing happens for a few long moments, actually. You're not sure how long time passed before the bipedal figure steps back in, alone this time, and with the heart ornately wrapped the way it is now. It places it back on the statue, and as it does, that is when you start to see a change in the environment. Seeping from the base of the statue like a rot, mushrooms begin to grow in a similar way to your escape. Although this time, they definitely bear a distinct resemblance to the first cave. The one outside of Crow's Landing.
And I don't know if this would even be possible given. Can I take out a book and see if I can read it to see if this is a dream or what is this?
Do you have a book on you?
Technically in my bag, but probably not on me when I was drinking the tea, no.
If it was not on you, then you don't
Then
have
no,
it.
I don't have
Like like if your bag was on the other side, like bag was like by your side or something, but
Yeah,
your
no,
shoulder.
then I wouldn't have it.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have it.
If I make any no, I'm just gonna yell, "Hey, smooth skin!" See if I get a response.
There's no response from the creature as it makes a round around the statue, inspecting its handiwork before moving back towards the crack in the wall with, strangely enough, and a definitely easily noticeable strut almost.
Still no sign of the other two that were with it. That wolf and the
Still no sign of the other two.
bug.
And as you look around and inspect the mushrooms, inspect the trees, try and basically gather as much evidence and as much as you can, the vision does eventually fade. But you can get a pretty good layout of the cave itself before it does.
Okay.
Ruvith is with.
One last question. Sorry, smooth skin. They weren't glowing, were they?
They had glowing eyes.
Okay.
Kind of similar to in the art, how you can see the.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, their face itself, they weren't exactly trying to bite the shit out of anything. Their face itself is just, like, plain. There's no visible nose. Like, it's smooth, but there are lights almost underneath the surface of the skin that seem to act as eyes. It's a really unsettling effect.
All this ornate work that is on the crystal heart.
Mhm.
You said it's like that Fabergé gold and such.
Yeah, it's like it's intricate wire wrapping that's basically like crisscrossed over the surface of the entire crystal, and there are smaller like basically crystal beads inlaid into it.
What is the actual crystal itself made out of?
Um, you are not entirely certain what every crystal is named. It's green.
Okay.
It could be like realistically, like from your perspective, it could be an emerald. Probably it's around that shade, but it's a lot bigger than an like most emeralds you'd see. It's like fist sized.
I'm gonna hand it back to Ruvith and ask if she can tell if there's anything, if there's a difference between the heart and the wrapping, magically speaking. If she can tell, because she explained to me the difference between arcane, nature, and divine, if she can tell if there's a different source of magic in the wrapping as opposed to the heart itself.
She can tell that the wrapping itself is some. She would hesitate to say man-made, but it's definitely art. While the heart is not.
But in terms of
In
their
terms of
magic,
actual, they are both actually nature magic.
and are they the same source of nature magic, or are they two separate things that are just combined into one?
The crystal itself doesn't have a clear school of magic behind it. The wrapping around it is primarily
Seen any weird wolves lately? Or ever?
out of curiosity. Have you made any unfortunate fae recently?
Have we met any what? I didn't hear you.
Have you made any unfortunate deals with fae?
Here it is. Finally.
I
Fucking
don't think
finally.
I don't think I know what that is though.
All right. A fae is there are I'm sorry, we're in the woods, so I'm trying to pick my words carefully here.
The cave.
The a cave in the woods.
Oh yeah. Got me there.
The Fae are beings from an alternate plane known as the Feywild that are significantly bound by the rules of etiquette than mortals are. The
Polite
etiquette isn't.
society.
They are polite society times 20. And if you happen to misstep in their political games, then you will die very fast.
Well, I don't
And
think I'm allowed in polite society yet, so no?
I would definitely advise against Fae if you. But as it is, their forms that they take when dealing with, they generally tend to end up looking like they're made from flora, vines, flowers, trees.
What
They
about
look like they're
like
made from the environment.
bugs? Or
Ooh,
gonna
they
try to
can some.
like mime the smooth skin as best I can by like pulling up my tabar to cover my face and then like pretending I have a bunch of little extra arms.
I have no idea what you're convey, but they do sometimes take the form of bugs. They like spiders a lot.
Well, what am I trying to ask here? I'm trying to ask, where do they live? I know you said the Feywild, but like, how do they
There
get here?
are some of them are capable of slipping in through teleportation magic. There are the Great Gates to the Feywild. One of them, unfortunately, is here in the Estertor Isles. Not in Glycellin, thankfully, but. And I've also heard rumors about people slipping, falling through the earth. The Hells, the Abyss, Shadowfell.
Man, I always thought the Earth was pretty sturdy, but I guess you can just fall through it at any time. Way back when, right when we woke up and Pietro just finished giving us back all that crap he stole from us.
Mm.
We're gonna keep riding that one, huh?
Yeah. He told us that there was some god-awful abomination in these woods that we could go talk to if we just felt like it. Do I remember where that is?
You do actually remember where that is?
Where is it?
You do have the requisite feat for that. Let me move you back to the map. Oh, I already did. If you woke up, say exactly there, then it would be like there. Or like there. Actually, sorry, it's northwest. West.
So there-ish?
There-ish.
Does Rufus know anything about that? I know it's a bit outside of Haven, but...
Oh no, she knows about Exarch.
About who?
That's his name. She'll give it to you. Exarch is actually well known to the druids.
Is Ixazi a conveniently shaped 2-horse-long bug?
Exarch is a conveniently shaped 2-foot long or 2-horse long.
2 foot long? This guy just got way less intimidating.
No, 2-horse long. I'm sorry.
Carrion could step on him.
Carrion's
I'd
feet are
love
2
to.
feet. Carrion with the size 100 shoe.
And And she does not sound terribly pleased by the fact that you were able to describe him after having a vision with the crystal.
So that is Exarch that I saw.
Yes,
Oh boy.
at least as far as Ruvith is aware.
Oh, everything's gonna work out swimmingly now.
So is it one of these Fae things you were talking about, or is it something
Exazi is
else?
definitely not a fae. Exazi could actually be considered the furthest thing from a fae that you can get. It is an. I am now realizing that I don't actually have a scholarly term for it. It's an eldritch abomination.
Ooh.
I think I heard Teo
Mm.
call Amberlosa that once.
You're so lucky we're gone. I'd be lighting that house on fire right then and there.
You're in a cave.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Have I?
You have, actually.
Well, I mean,
Huh.
the fact that you knew what eldritch abomination meant.
So I have, apparently.
In, like, passing. Like, not loudly, but I know you said it at least once, and apparently that's always enough for Q.
Apparently.
Observant plus keen mind.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, the laughter was in character for Ruth, too.
Of course it was.
Yes, so it's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say he. It's definitely not a fae. It's definitely extra planar, not natural by any way you look at it. There's a reason it's set up shop in a place where no druid would ever be caught dead.
I mean, I'm just saying, there are a lot of people who are dead there, so some of them might be caught dead.
Oh my god.
It was a term of phrase, but I see your point.
But what else do we know about Exazi aside from the fact it's a giant
Give up
evil
with it. It's
bug?
not worth it.
It's a giant evil bug that lives in the desolate wasteland and has. I mean, it's kind of got a following it. Like,
you
it
say it got a
has the
cult?
ability. Yeah, it kind of has the ability to ensnare people.
Does it eat people? Probably eats people.
Hmm.
Like physically ensnare, or is this some weird?
Mentally ensnare.
Okay.
Like, it literally has a cult following it. They live out past the battlefield somewhere.
So if bug is Eldritch Abomination, trees are Fey, what about really smooth skin, glowing? And then I try to do the extra arm impersonation again.
She just shakes her head. She doesn't. That's not ringing a bell with her.
Oh, well, can I have another sip?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, the other three managed to. Yeah, the other three would leave, or I mean, Tara's probably been downstairs doing the delegation thing since the crack of dawn, but by the time everybody manages to convene at the Young Harrow Inn, there
Getting all my
are
ducklings in a fucking row.
there are the dwarves, the wood elf, the unskilled laborers. They seem to they're orcs, and there are a few half orcs, no full orcs as per your.
What about my
There,
Triton boy?
yes, your Triton lad is also there.
Yay.
He is intimidatingly tall, even to carry him.
Ooh.
I don't like that.
He's my new
Treading
favorite.
on a barbarian's turf though, Triton boy. That's gonna get you in trouble.
He's my new favorite. Don't touch him.
Touches him.
The trip to the Dragon Spire is mostly uneventful. The workers naturally form into cliques, but they're mostly respectful to one another for the journey. Glauder does have a minor spat with a half-orc named Dotori, but it's over before anybody needs to get involved. And you start your journey down the mountain and to Frostfang Pass for the first leg of it, at least.
I'm gonna have to ask you how much it costs at this point to pick up my cart, because it's been a minute.
Oh, don't worry, I've been keeping track.
Okay, I can't count. I'm too gay to count.
I
It's been
mean,
established in this chat.
Okay.
a few days
Okay.
into your journey, just before you would actually, or just after you would reach the lower road, the noises, you hear the noises well before you actually come across the battlefield, but you do eventually catch sight of four. Calling them a motley group would be putting them kindly. It's a combination of a lizard folk, a half elf, a goblin, and a high elf.
Yikes.
I'm sorry, what?
What a
What are they
visual
paying that
image
high
this
elf?
be.
A lizard folk, a half elf, a high elf, and a goblin.
They're
And
working together in harmony.
they are currently facing off against, well, actually, Q would have the most knowledge of what these creatures are due to her extensive plague questioning. These are the end result of the plague. And
Oh, I've been dying to see one of these. Dun.
I hate you.
I've never disliked our friendship more.
But 6 of them on their own with 4 allies with you is literally such. It's not even worth bringing up a proper map. So
I mean, I'm just gonna firebolt the closest one, so.
your group at least is able to dispatch them with relative ease, especially with your 4 allies. And Q, now that you are presumably up close, since you are a melee fighter, you are able to get your first good look at these creatures. They're definitely former. They all appear to be human, actually. One of them is dressed in kind of patchwork mail. The other 3 appear to be just dressed in rough spun cotton, farmer's clothes, if anything. They don't. Trying to describe the best way to look. They look dead, obviously. They look like They look half emaciated, and the bits of flesh that have either been stripped away, torn away, or cut by the recent fights show that the blood that leaks out is almost exactly like Carrion's blood. Kind of
Hmm.
thick oil slick look. If you pry back the eyelids, their eyes are covered in a thin, milky film almost, and you can see that they are definitely, like I said, not rotting but withering.
Interesting.
Q,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
Well, Vanessa called this an autopsy, so I'm doing an autopsy.
An autopsy is actually when you cut them open.
Oh, I'm
The
gonna cut one
high
open.
the high elf speaks up and immediately cringes back when you do that.
You just had to encourage her, didn't you?
Good job. Really, we're trying to mitigate this behavior.
That was
And
not the response I expected. I'm sorry.
and you for
The lizard folk is going to step forward. They are on the taller end, but this is a ridiculously tall party, so they're not on the taller end. They're 6 feet tall. Green scales, dressed in heavy armor. I am Simbrad. This is Galder. And our goblin half-elf here are Zulti and Nelsar. Thank you for your help. We were perhaps skirting too closely to the desolate wasteland.
perhaps, but sometimes it is unavoidable. Can I
Q,
ask?
are you using gloves?
Yes, I'm using gloves.
Just wanted to be sure.
Cold out here. Plus, I'm not an amateur.
But you. Never mind. Hmm. And
Does Q actually say I'm not amateur?
Not quite. But
Okay.
you do get a look like obviously.
Galler is just watching Q just with an undisguised mix of horror and fascination.
Q, when you are done, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you are, after I assume you just crack open this person's skull, looking over the brain, you do spy small growths that, when you look closer, almost appear fungal.
Well,
I am going to try to carve out a tissue section and just pop it into one of the vials I have.
Okay,
I'm not
so
gonna be able to fit the
Enderal
whole
has a
brain
fairly
in there.
strong stomach. This is almost a hint too much for her.
This is literally
Mm.
my job.
Okay. Now, admittedly, as great as last night's the other meals were, I'm a little regretful. How are you holding up? I know we just met.
The high elf still looks disturbingly fascinated. Sulimbrad is not looking at Q in any way, shape, or form. Zali looks like he doesn't care. No, Sar has his head buried in the book. He just looks. She just looks between you and Q, confused.
Let's just say she met a wizard in a tower, and since she's been like this.
My apologies.
It is a burden we must all bear.
You start the path into the desolate wasteland proper, off of the primary paved road. It's pretty fucking dead. No pun intended.
I feel like there's a little bit of pun intended there. I'm not gonna
There
lie.
was a lot of pun intended there.
It's Zaz. There's always a pun intended.
So where are we on the map?
You are currently traveling this way. Yeah, on the 5th day, you finally reach the gates of Mulemold. Unmanned. Closed. They're not really that good gates, like you noticed the first time, because it is a little village in the middle of the woods that built its gates itself, but
And did try to kill us.
it is a village that has proper fucking walls, which is more than most places can say.
Right. Shall we knock or move on?
I remember they had like a little tower thingy. I take it nobody's visible up there.
Nope.
Is it possible to climb that tower from this side of the wall? I doubt it, but like,
If you had a rope and grappling hook.
does anyone got a rope?
I have plenty of rope, but we don't have any grappling hooks. We can try to lasso that shit, but that requires something to lasso onto.
Hold on.
Maybe I can hold one end of the rope. I can hold the other end of the rope, and I can Misty Step across.
Or we could just
You will not
open the
hold-
gate.
Yeah, or you
Open the
could just
gate.
open the gate from the other side with Misty Step.
Oh, that makes sense.
All
I
right.
open the gate.
You Misty Step up onto the tower that you previously saw the guard standing from when he originally told you all to
I guess that
fuck off.
answers the question of should we just move on or do you want to check without any discussion, but all right.
I'm sorry, I got lost. Just heard Misty Step, so I stepped.
You
You
stepped.
didn't hear Misty Step, you said Misty Step.
He heard unpassable barrier, and that equals Misty Step, as any warlock knows. Warlock / sorcerer / spellcaster with Misty Step.
Don't lump me in the same group.
That's true. You never
Did
use
hear
Misty
Misty
Step to get
Step.
past obstacles, and 2 staircases are there to prove it.
Okay, you better watch your fucking back, Taco.
Yvette, the tower is empty, and you're able to climb down to the portcullis, the fucking wheel thingy. I don't know my medieval terminology,
Sure,
Renaissance terminology.
sure.
Bro. Oh, nothing in there? In any of it?
Could have just said
You
gatehouse.
have not seen a
but-
person yet.
Have not what?
You have not seen a person yet, and you're able to open the gate.
I guess I opened the gate for him.
The rest of you are able to see into the village proper in a way Yvette was not able to, so she climbed straight down into the gatehouse.
Mm-hmm.
It is the definite remnants of some type of fight. Not a proper battle, more there isn't really a more There isn't really an easier way to describe it. It's more the desperate last scene of a bunch of villagers who were overtaken by the plague. It's not a pretty sight in any way, shape, or form.
So a massacre.
Yes.
Hmm.
There are not currently any walking corpses that you can see.
But there are plenty of
There
corpses.
are plenty of not walking corpses. Not everybody that dies to the plague raises. A lot do, but not all. And it also depends on the strain. As you would know.
I suppose we pick up supplies, get rid of, burn the bodies, and call it a day.
Definitely hear things outside of the gate and around the village. But you don't see anything.
Where exactly are we camped up? What building did we pick?
You picked the inn. It is also conveniently one of the more centrally located buildings.
Can I get some type of elevation to try and see over these walls?
You can certainly either try to climb the walls or the inn itself, or you could just climb up the gatehouse.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, basically, how far away is the gatehouse from the inn?
There's about 2 buildings length of distance.
That's close enough. I'll climb the tower to see what exactly is out there.
All right. You climb the tower and you are. The sun is definitely the sun is definitely setting to the point where it's affecting your vision, but there is still light to see by. You don't see people at first glance, which is good. You do spy shadows shifting, never quite coalescing into something distinct that you can tell. At
So,
one point,
shadows, these aren't physical.
yeah. But they're also at the corner of your vision. It's not like you are seeing shadows moving around, like, overtly. You're just catching things out of the corner of your eye that you are never quite able to notice. If that makes more sense.
A little bit, yes. I'm going back to the end and letting everybody know that we have nightmares outside.
Pardon?
Nightmares. Remember, Temperance. She talked about them, how they fought nightmares. These things, like, they're not real, yet they are.
Okay. Well, we can't really do much unless they attack now, can we?
There's gotta be something.
We can... I don't know. Put torches out?
Okay, I'll start setting torches up everywhere. That's what I'll spend the rest of my time doing.
Alright. Are you setting them up on the walls or?
Literally anywhere. Even if I have to, like, go outside and, like, just with long sticks and plant them in the ground.
Are you going outside the gate?
Not outside the gate. No. Like,
Okay.
outside the building we're in. Yeah, going outside the
Okay.
gate seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, that was my question. Are you setting them like in the village itself or up on the wall?
I'm going to
where
make, like, a
people
tiki
outside the
torch
tower-
circle around the inn we're in. And
Okay.
in addition to lighting up every room in the inside.
All right. With torches?
I mean, yeah, if that's what we have.
Sure.
All right. Are you setting any torches in rooms that are not occupied by anybody?
Yes, I want there to be as much light as possible.
Okay.
These are decisions.
Alright, Q turns in for the night, and the two of you start your watch. Are you watching in the building itself, on the walls? Where are you guys going? What are you doing?
I'm reading the book.
Alright.
Say the options again.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. Like, where are you what are you deciding, where are you deciding to take watch?
Honestly, I'm gonna patrol.
Alright.
Patrol the town to the best of my ability.
You, similar to Q, the two of you can hear the occasional odd noise. And eventually you can hear another odd noise. And Teo, since you're not facing away from the inn with your nose buried in a book, you can actually see it first.
Mm-hmm.
The inn has definitely caught fire.
Are
Alright.
the structures in this village all made of wood?
For the most part, yeah. Including the
Okay.
walls.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, I'll do what I can with a bucket and some water.
It's not Teo, it's not until you grab the water from the well and run over and throw it on the fire
Mm-hmm.
that you notice the water is strangely green tinged.
It's a lost cause. Let's give up.
It still acts like water.
Step ahead of you.
It's just got a weird, definitely noticeable tint to it, even in the dark with the firelight.
Well,
Alright, anybody else helping with this?
Nope, building's lost cause.
Alright.
I mean, I will use this great shining beacon to keep a more lookout, because I am assuming that something caused this.
Assuming
Yeah.
you caused this by leaving a torch in an empty room.
it's possible, yeah.
Teo is running back and forth between the well and the inn, trying to put out the fire. Amberlosa has accepted the inevitable. Carrion has also accepted the inevitable, with an added bonus of trying to sleep against the well. And Q is the one to notice the shadow creatures creep over the walls,
Q is the
lured in by
one.
the shiny light.
Q is the one to call out about the shadow creatures creeping over the walls.
I hate this town, I hate this town, I hate this town.
I asked if y'all wanted to come in.
When Q says that, that's about the point where Teo just drops the bucket, looks skyward, goes, "No, fuck this. Let the fires take it." And I go to join the others for presumably a fight that's about to break out.
Выстрел! Выстрел!
Sun rises. The smoldering ashes of the inn are still giving off a slight bit of heat.
Well,
Do you continue
I
on your
think that's a
path?
vast improvement.
Alright, let's go ruin another town.
I'd rather not. I'd rather just stay on task.